Happy Monday. I hope you guys had a good intro to the week. For a lot of people, it's your last work week, and then hopefully you get some time off next week. So today, I'm going to dive right into it. I'm going to be super fast because I know my videos have been long. I kind of don't know if it's necessarily like a lesson, but I guess it is. It's an understanding, it's a way of being in the world, and it's all kind of around this idea of light. So I want to talk today about when I refer to your light, what does that even mean? So I think to start, I will say the reason I got into this line of work and I do what I do, and I'm passionate about it, is because I wanted to empower people, specifically women, because I figured that I charted a boatload of stuff for myself, and even in the depths and the darkest, even in the depths of my pain or my brokenness or my darkness, I always knew that there was going to be a way out. And I see in the world that a lot of people don't find their way out. And that breaks my heart because I want to, if I didn't go through all of those experiences, and if I didn't take, what I have learned and kind of channeled it into the work that I do in some way, allow it to kind of frame my lens, then maybe it would have all kind of been for nothing. And so I'm very passionate about empowering people. I want people to understand that even in the depths of their darkness, no matter whatever the load is that they're carrying, that they can, and they are so beyond capable of connecting to that light. And what I've noticed over the last, let's say 8 months that I've been reading clients full time, is that everyone, all walks of life that come to me, all have trauma. They all have a history of some type of pain, and they all are carrying so much in this world. And so through the work that I do, it is around empowering and inspiring and offering maybe that bit of insight. And sometimes it doesn't connect to the human brain, but it aligns with their soul and they feel that. So in saying that, let's talk about a few facts first. Life is hard. There's no doubt about that. Everyone will admit it. I'm just reading because sometimes I get off track, sorry. The light can't exist without the dark. Just like we can't feel love and joy and bliss until we have felt pain and sorrow. They just have to exist with one another. The dark moments in our life, the painful moments, the hardship, it is always a blessing in disguise. It's all about perception. And endings, any type of ending or closure, or those moments where we kind of look around and it seems like our life is like fallen all over the place and we're trying to pick up our pieces of who we are, of our experiences. We look at it from that way, but actually it's kind of falling apart to make room for new and great and more things that align with really who you truly are. The only thing you can ever control is your perception. So learn to control that mind over matter, offer new and bring in new perspectives, and allow you to see from that framework. And really, sometimes it's all that we can control. The dark experiences always show up to help you, period. And everything is temporary. That is something that has always kind of aligned with me. Everything is temporary. Everything is always going in and out of that ebb and flow of life. Whatever hard moment, whatever depressed moment, whatever anxious moment, whatever moment you are finding yourself in, it is temporary. And I think that's the beauty of connecting with your light, which I will explain, is knowing that you are light and that you can connect with it anytime, and allow it to, how do I explain that? You can be in the thick of it as a human and know it's really tough for me right now. It's really hard. This person's sick and I just lost this person and I am not doing well within relationship and my kids and this, and there can be all these layers around you and you can be in the thick of it. But when you acknowledge that your light is present, you acknowledge all these facts that things are temporary, that everything shows up to help you. We chose all of this. There's so much to be understood. It's all a blessing in disguise. It becomes, I feel like this framework up above, and it's just easy kind of to plug in. So even in the darkest times, I think it's courage, and I think it's bravery, and I think it's the bravest thing that you can ever do, is that when you are in the thick of it, to see above and know, okay, I'm here, but I'm not going to always be here. I'm going to be able to keep moving, and I will. And you expect it of the world to provide that opportunity for you. You expect it of yourself, and you just know it's that blind faith. You know that regardless of what muddy waters you are in, there's this peace up here, this understanding. And you know that it will pass, and it's going to be okay. You're going to be okay. I think it's the bravest thing that anyone can do. Is it easy? No. It takes a lot of brain power. It takes a lot of really aligning with your values and your framework and your perception of like how you see life and the process of life. But it's super paramount. Anyway, so I think that, going back, the bravest thing you can ever do is to believe in you in the darkest of times, even when it feels heavy and horrible. That doesn't mean that the human self can't step forward and be like, what the fuck is going on? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? I just got through that. I can't believe this. I can't, and all of this. And yeah, we are allowed to sit in that. We are allowed to be frustrated with the struggle and the process. And it is hard being a human. It is very dense and heavy. No one will ever take that away from you. But it's the difference from acknowledging that that human is going through this experience and trucking along. Okay. And then there's this higher level, that soul, that understanding that is like, looks down and says, it's fine. You're just going to keep trucking along and you'll be okay. Eventually you'll get to a place where your days will just get better and better, and you'll have little epiphanies and you'll understand things, and things will get a lot clearer. So let's kind of go to what light is when I say it. It's something that you're born with. It actually it exists because you exist. It is the light that brightens the dark. It's constant. And so because I can feel and see energy and like sense it, this is how I kind of actually view it. So like your root chakra, so basically your crotch, your sit bone, runs this like energy, centers, but basically the way I see it is it's like from there and it runs inside you. So the core of you, it's just like this big white kind of ball. It's your essence, it's your soul, it's all the things that connect you to everything. And it runs all the way inside you and runs up through the top of your head and goes all the way up. And it's what connects you. And it's what we were all born with, every person in the world. It's what stores our inner wisdom. It's what stores our intuition. It's what stores our greatness. It is, of all things, it is a part of the same energy and source that makes up everything. So I think the biggest thing that I've learned is that it's not transactional. It's never something that goes away. It's not something you have to work towards. I think we've all got locked in that. I have to give more. I have to give more of my time, of my money, of myself, and I have to be a better person, and then I can feel good, and then I can connect with like me, and I did these bad things, or I said bad things, or I treated people not great because I was in pain, and oh my gosh, I can't believe I keep doing that, and I'm just not worthy of like feeling like a good person, like feeling like I'm connected, like I'm a soulful person. It's just a bunch of bullshit. This light, this part of you that everyone walks around with, isn't transactional. It's not something that you get and get taken away from. It is you. Even in the ugliest of times, you are still light. Which kind of leads me to the light within us is just waiting for us to see it. That's it. It just exists. It's like the ocean. Some people in some careers understand the ocean, the water, and the body of it, and the vastness and all of that. But for most of us, we look at it and we just know it to be true. It's just there. It's just water. It's just the ocean. It's, lakes and rivers, and where do they all come from, and how do they meet and connect, and how do they, it's like mind blowing to really actually sit in all of it. We're never really going to understand it all. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but we just accept it, right? We're just like, okay, it exists. It's there. And so we love it, and we have this connection with it that we can't explain. It's the same with the light. It's like a light turns on at some point and you realize that you may never really get it, that this light, that you are made up of this light and these shadowy parts, and the whole point is integrate them, and that's your true self. It may never really connect on all that, but you just have to believe it. Fake it until you make it. Believe that that's true. This light, our soul part, has no expectations of the human. It doesn't need anything from us. It just needs us to like acknowledge it, just to know that it's there and that it's present, and that is very much a part of who we are. I don't know. I always kind of think of it as like being told that like you're royalty, like getting a knock on the door one day and being like, oh, you're a queen and, you know, this Eastern country, and, you know, with that comes like success, and you get to have a platform to, you know, help people and whatever it is. But with it is traditionally means like freedom and, you know, no debt, money, and wealth and love and all these kind of things, and that purpose and that, you know, connection to something. It's like, you know, there's lots of movies made up about that whole idea of getting that knock on the door. I'm like, wow, I've been missing this my whole life. I could feel like something is missing. So for me, finding my light looked like going through and understanding what love is, self-love and self-compassion. And I will tell you that every time I even heard those buzzwords and those terms, or someone said, you need to take care of yourself, depending on what age I was at, it meant something different, right? That perception, that framework, that brain, and wherever we're at that point, it integrates and it's like, oh, okay, yeah. So it's always meant something different for me at different points in my life. But it wasn't until the last like 3 or 4 years, when I've been in the darkest places I've ever been, the darkest depths of me, that I chose to go, where I think there's something to be said about when you feel so ugly and dark and shameful and all this like lower level vibrations. When you're sitting in that for so long, I think we can all admit we desperately want out of it. If someone could give us a cure, if someone can give us, you know, the perfect counselor or the perfect solution or the key to kind of unlocking so that we can be free and take the backpack off and just relax and be peaceful and love ourselves, we would all do it. And I think there's something to be said when you get to that darkest place of no return, you're so desperate for that answer. And for me, the answer was just self-love. Just love you. You're just as amazing as you are not so amazing. You are just as brave as you are weak. You are just as dark as you are light. And when I embraced that, it was like, that's what I've been missing. That was that connection that kind of woke me up. And I realized that I can literally do and be anything and have anything in the entire world that I want, in a way, because I am that. I show up as my true self. I am a part of the divine consciousness, just as everybody else is. And it's not something anyone can take from me. It's who I am. It's a part of my confidence. It's a part of my capacity. And I think that's the other thing, is in this light, when we really show up and connect, the possibilities within connecting to this part of you is infinite. You want to be more compassionate? It's part of you. You just have it. You just have to access it. You want to be, you know, stronger. You want to have more willpower. You want to be more forgiving. You want to be more gracious. You want to be more calm and kind. All that those peaceful parts of you exist by loving you. But we create a lot of walls and protective layers and all of this stuff that's driven by trauma and pain and really, I don't know, hurtful and upsetting experiences. So it is chipping away at all of that, and it does peel all those layers back, and some of them are ugly and some of them are breathtaking. Some of them bring us to our knees, and we feel the immensity of all of that. And sometimes we get too far and we don't want to feel anymore, and we tap out, and we make the climb a little bit more, and then we're like, okay, I'm done for a while and so long. But the whole point is eventually, and I feel proud that I got to that point, and it was like 30 something years in the making, but eventually all those protective layers came off and I was the rawest. And I will tell you from experience, it'll be the ugliest you will ever be. It is you sitting beside all the dark, heavy parts of you that I referred to in the other video. But on the other side of that is your light. You find that and you want to realize, wow, I've been the only one standing in my way this entire time. That's it. Life happened. All these protective layers and walls and pain and triggers and wounds and all that happened because of this life I chose and because of the experiences and interactions with people. And oh my God, wow. And then I hold it around in the whole world, and I'm upset and angry and frustrated and hurt, and it limits me from fulfilling what I need to fulfill and feeling great about being a wife, about being a friend, about being a mother, all of these things. And then you get to this place and you realize, holy crap, all I had to do is work through all of that. I mean, it's not easy, but just to get to my light. And holy crap, that was there the entire time. If I wanted to be more brave, I just had to connect to it. If I wanted to be whatever, it's just this idea that whatever you want, you just believe, and then you are. You just are. There are things in my life that I never thought I could forgive, and parts of me that I couldn't forgive myself, or parts of other people that I couldn't. But I just realized that they just didn't know about their light. You know, even in the worst places, even the worst of worst things that people have done to me and said to me, and I've experienced with, and because of a contract that we had to fulfill, they just didn't understand their light. They just didn't, maybe they haven't yet done the work to get in, so I can hold them in compassion. And it made a world of difference. But anyways, because I think that's the hardest thing, is these contracts we have with all these people, right? When we look around our life and it's not peaceful, it's because of all these experiences that we signed up for. But if we look at it as like a long timeline of contracts, and we realize that there's just certain people that haven't found their light and haven't done the work yet, and we can't really fault them for it. We can just, you know, doesn't mean we have to be in their life with them. But again, it's a 15-minute video, so I will stop there. So this is the point of this video, is all about understanding and honoring your light. So my action kind of plan to you is to really take a look at what this means to you. Is this resonating with you? What parts of it how close are you to it? There will be some of you that hear what I had to say tonight and are just nowhere there yet. They can't touch that light. They can't feel into themselves because of all those layers. And that's totally fine. You can actually move through that pretty fast. It doesn't have to take you 30 something years like it took me. What was I going to say? And there are going to be some people who read it or listen to this and they're like, okay, yeah, I can kind of see what loving myself would be, and really loving on those parts of me. And then there will be some people who just get it and have already done it and are already there, and it's amazing. But I really want you to really try and walk around for the next little bit and understand, what is your light and how does it step forward, and what does it mean when you step into it and you fully connect and embrace with that? Do you feel invincible? Do you feel powerful? Do you feel amazing? Do you feel of this world? Because you should. Anyways, I'm gonna go. I hope you guys all have a beautiful Monday evening. Christmas is basically, you know, like a week tomorrow. Christmas Eve, I guess. But yeah, I'm sending you all tons of love, and